Here's my question for you. Would everyone still be so pro natural hair if their natural hair did whatever this is? Anyways, we're rolling with it for today, but I just wanted to address the elephant in the room before we got into it. Let's go. So, this is the video that I recorded, I posted, I did everything for the video, and then it didn't post because I deleted it off of my phone before it had time to upload. Anyways, not gonna do that again. We learned our lesson. So, what I wanted to talk about today is 5 habits that changed my life, and not overall just my life, but in particular, the thing that I was really looking to change was my mental health because, I struggled with this very, very hard at the start. And I would say that these 5 things, they're in no particular order because I don't think that you can particularly order these things. Like, they're all just very helpful and very beneficial. So, let's get started. Gratitude journaling. Honestly, at the start, when I started my gratitude, some of you that have been following me for a minute know this, but like how my gratitude started out, it was years ago. I remember I had it was when I was at that age to have my bedroom in the basement and wanted it painted black. So my dad would come down and he would ask me every day what 3 things I was grateful for. And this is how it started, okay? And it was mustard seed to now. If we had 2 hours, I could sit down here and just list off things that I'm grateful for. And I could go 2 hours straight. I shit you not. I could list off hundreds of things. So I really like journaling now because it keeps me in focus of what I am writing, okay? I find that I can't really focus on something as much. I'm very much more of a hands-on and reading person than I am a thinking person. So there's 5 different ways to learn, and I really encourage you, there might be more than 5 actually, but I really encourage you to figure out what that is for you. And then use those tactics. So before, this was just speech. So one of the ways that people used to learn is amongst other people or in groups. And my dad, that was how he started out with me. It wasn't do this assignment and write down things that you're grateful for and make sure that you have 3 every day. He would just show up randomly throughout the day and he would be tell me 3 things that you're grateful for. And then as I progressed, I write this down now. So it became journaling. Journaling is something that also is very, very beneficial. Just for changing your mindset around. So reading, I want to go into a little bit more depth there. So if you go on a rant about everything that is bad in your life and you think that that is a successful journal entry because you want to vent and you want to get it off of your chest, I don't really particularly agree with that fully, and here's why. So if you say that, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a real life example, okay? I, in my life, am struggling with this, and first trimester, not enough energy, okay? And slacking on the gym, but regardless if you slack on the gym or not, you're going to be gaining weight, point blank. And for me, my waist was always super, super tiny, and I was super proud of it. And this for me is something that I put so much work into. And now you're gonna start thinking, oh, that's super egotistical of you, that's super shallow of you. Yeah, it is, okay? And if you haven't been there, you don't understand the feeling. So if you haven't had a 23-inch waist and had a really, really huge ass, you don't understand the feeling of having that and how just proud of yourself that you are for achieving that, because it's not just how it looks great in every piece of clothing that you put on, but it's also the immense work and focus that went into building that. And then I was looking at my body and I was oh my god, I'm getting fat. This is something, that's something. And then my belly button is doing this thing where it just sticks out instead of is in a belly button, so I try to push it back in and then that grosses me out. And then I was you know what? This is literally the vessel for your soul and your child's soul that is coming in. And let's just have some grace here. For a few months, this is going to be off, and that's okay, because then you have so much progress that you can make after that. And a lot of people think, you know what? it's really easy for you to say because you have good genetics and you've always had a good program and you've always understood the gym and you had the money to pay for trainers and coaches when I didn't, and I have bad genetics and I come from a family that everyone is fat in, and I'm fat right now, and you've never had the experience being fat. So now I'm going to be able to gain weight, and I'm going to be able to show you that that is doable. I've lost 40 pounds before in my life before when I was stepping foot on stage, and I had that 40 pounds to honestly lose to step foot on stage. And I'm going to do it again to show you guys that it's doable and that it's okay and you can love your body even though it's not in the ideal state, because there is other good that's coming from that. So if you journal in a way that you bring up the negative and then you find a way to look at it in a positive light, this is a constructive journaling session. But if you just rant about shit and you don't move from that negative mindset, you're just going to cement yourself in there, and girl, that's not a vibe, okay? Second is reading. Reading leveled up my life in so many ways because you are, on average, the 5 people that you hang around with most. And even though, yes, it is through a book, you're still having a life experience, and that becomes part of you. Because when you read a book and there's something that's really impactful, it stays with you and it becomes part of who you are. And it can also become part of the way that you think too. So I only read books from people that I look up to. Let me just show you. And that shelf is full. That you can't even see half of it. Plus I have other books that are out here right now because I'm actively reading them. And so when you choose books from people that inspire you, or you see that they're going to give you XYZ benefit or whatever kind of learning that is going to be impactful in your life, then you're able to live through other people instead of going and doing your own mistakes and having to learn from them. You can just learn through other people's mistakes and their hardships instead of having your own. You can't remove your own hardships, but you can definitely learn through other people's expertise. Training schedule is number 3 on this list. Training schedule has helped me so much in my life because when you go there, you get endorphins, you feel good, you increase every happy hormone that is in your brain. And then even if you don't feel like going, actually, these are the best days. The best days are when you don't feel like going and you push yourself and then you end up going anyways. And those are literally the best times. But when you have a training schedule, it just gives clarity to your brain on what the expectation is. And when you hit it, you can get the good feeling of, you know what, I hit my goal and I accomplished that. And that makes me feel really good. And it builds self-confidence. Number 4 is a course or work on building a skill. So there are so many courses I've done in my life. It's countless courses that I have done in my life. And I really focus on having courses that are building a skill or helping me develop one area of my life, because I think that we all know people that go out there and they learn a bunch, but it seems like they don't apply anything in their life, and you see no real progression or change in their life. And I mean, granted, I think that no matter, if you're super into it, let's say you do 100 courses, there's no way that you're not going to change anything in your life, but there's definitely a degree of how much people actually use the information that they're presented. I love those people where you tell them something and then they're like, I know that, 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 I know that. That person is closed-minded. Don't even waste your time with them. Just let them be the idiot that they are, because they're closed-minded and they're not open to learning. The person that's going to go the farthest is the person that is honest where they are right now. They're honest with the things that they need to improve. They have a moral compass that's actually not rusted to shit. And they can tell you where they're lacking, in what areas and what improvements they should actually be making. Not self-loathing and not being so arrogant to say that everything is perfect in their life, but right in the middle. You have the attitude and the approach of a student. And that person is going to be able to take a course and take the value out of it and apply that information. Also, being able to choose good courses that are going to help you build a skill is a very valuable thing to have too, because there are millions of courses out there. There are millions of books out there. But when you look at a book or you look at a course, what things are you looking for to actually make it be important? I really want to go over how to pick out information with you guys after, because this is such a life skill. And I see people I'm like, bro, you are so fucking dumb. It hurts me. Number 5 is 1 to 3 non-negotiables. I say 1 to 3 at a time, max. Because your brain can only focus on so many things. Right now, the biggest goal that I have for my 2024, I shouldn't say the biggest, but I think that is going to be the most challenging goal. I don't even know if that's right. Anyways, I've never done it before. I've never read 24 books in a year. And I'm putting a lot of time and attention to reading those books, but then also taking action and using those courses and using that information outside in my actual life. I think that there is no value in sitting down and reading 24 books and then doing nothing and going back to your life as if it was just the same as before. Like, reading storybooks to me makes no sense. So you need to set up 1 to 3 non-negotiables that you're putting like all of your focus and all of your attention on. You want to be fully submersed in these things, and you want to be obsessed with achieving the goal that you have. So yes, my goal is to read 24 books, but then I have also other business goals that are attached to that. These are my 2 main focuses for 2024. Other than that, yeah, I'm going to have a kid to raise, but I've done so much research already that I'll have time to work on these other things, because I'm not going to be playing catch up for all the information that I didn't have when having the kid. So, like so many moms do, they like focus on labor and then they like forget that they need to understand how this kid works from like 0 to 3, 3 to 6. Like, anyways, all of the milestones and stuff. Not saying I know it all, but I definitely did a good foundational research and like understand a lot more than I did before. So that makes me feel good. Why do I say 1 to 3 non-negotiables as the 5th thing here? Is simply because you want to set like your main goal. So my main goal is really increasing the amount of income that I make in a year. And I want to focus on changing my arena. So right now, I've pretty much maxed out the arena that I'm in. I've hit the goal that I wanted in the arena that I'm in. And in the arena that I'm in, it doesn't have the potential for the growth that I actually want. And so now I'm going to focus on doing courses and building skills that are going to help me in the area of attaining this goal. And so the books that I'm reading are giving me mindset tricks and like actual foundational knowledge of like how to apply this in here, but then also how to stay motivated. That way I have that motivation and I have the actual practical things, and then I have things about babies in there. And so it's all pertaining to these, goals that I have in my life. There's no redundant, useless information that I'm just spending my time reading about or doing courses on. It all has to do with the goal, and it all goes with the theme. So those are the top 5 things in no particular order, and I kind of added in a bonus 6th one for you there because I explained a little bit on how to journal a little bit more effectively than just going on rants, because I did that for a time and it really did not get me anywhere. It actually just dug me further into the hole that I was already in. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I absolutely love to have you guys part of the family. So if you want more content like this, you know what to do. You like, subscribe, and you hit the bell. That way, every single time that there is a new video that comes out, you are not going to be notified on Instagram. This is like, my subscribers are a family of their own, and you guys will be the first to know at any point when there is new content that is dropping. So I will see you on the next one.